All of our sinks are handmade, which is very important when it comes to quality. Let's compare a handmade Buildmat sink to a generic pressed sink. You can see the curves on the pressed sink are very wide, while on our handmade sinks they are very narrow. Tight corners are harder to achieve with pressed sinks, but hand-welded sinks like ours create much tighter corners, which maximizes sink space. You can see there is so much wasted space in comparison to a handmade sink, which has an almost perfectly square corner. But it's not perfectly square for good reason. Food and gunk gets stuck to the sink edges and you'll be forever cleaning, which is why we leave it slightly rounded. You can find sinks that have perfectly square 90-degree corners, but we don't recommend these because they're simply harder to keep clean. Another benefit of having a narrow, tighter corner is it's much more modern and it gives it a much more usable space. If I grab this skillet to demonstrate, you can see it doesn't actually fit into the pressed sink because of the rounded internal edges. So how do Buildmat sinks compare to other sinks? Really, it comes down to the craftsmanship of the sink. Aesthetically, they might look the same, but in terms of craftsmanship, we use a thicker gauge steel, which involves a much more complex process. Pressed sinks are typically made from 0.8 to 1mm thick steel, whereas a handmade sink like ours is made from 1.5mm thick steel, which is a lot more sturdy and durable. It's much more premium. We also finish off our steel sinks with a matte finish versus a polished finish. And look, at the end of the day, steel will scratch, but a matte finish is much less obvious than a polished, shiny, thin steel sink. I hope you found this video useful. Feel free to ask your questions, or if you have any of your own tips, we'd love it if you could share them in the comments below. To see our full range of handmade sinks, visit buildmat.com.au.